Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Vacuous Perspective. I'm Nate, a dude, and this is Val,
Hey.
another dude, and co-host of the Vac. So, Val,
Yes.
do you want something I'm thinking of or something that's on my desk?
Let's say the desk first.
Okay, I've got two things on my desk.
Okay.
All right.
Have you got one in your left hand, one in your right hand? Is that the scenario?
Yeah, I actually do right now.
Okay. And you want me to pick the hand?
Yeah.
Let's have your left hand.
Okay. We're farewelling RAC's historic Intellibus trial. Do you remember that stupid... Actually, I quite liked it, but I'd never been on it. The autonomous vehicle that cruised around South Perth foreshore.
Okay. We're farewelling it.
I know.
What do you mean?
I thought we just...
They didn't like it.
Apparently.
Oh, what a bummer. What a blow to the robot jobs.
I thought we were moving forward with this technology.
No.
And now it's gone. I mean, are there any other autonomous vehicles on the roads? I thought this was the prototype, right? It was going to have babies.
Right. Yes.
And then its babies were going to have
have
babies, and they were each going to be smarter than the last generation.
And once they own, part of once they start figuring out the network with its internal sort of systems, then they'd be able to do a one-click button, let all the Teslas auto drive, let all the cars currently on the roads that have the power to do it autonomously, let them go, because we've got the network sorted now, because the buses mapped it. And then we're the guinea pigs for the rest of it, I guess, the side streets, not the main roads.
We're the obstacles at that point.
Yeah.
Once they've got control of the roads, we're just the witches' hats.
Are you ready for that? I mean, we just saw last week they're doing robot surgeries, or was that the week before? The robots are coming. It's not...
Actually, it's funny now that...
It's not if, it's when.
It is when. And one of the things I was thinking of, if you elected to go down that path, was I was brushing my teeth. I've got an electric toothbrush.
Yes. And
I want a new one. Like the dentist recommended I got a better electric toothbrush.
Got it.
And I've been looking at this Oral-B Genius, I think it's called. And it's like $175 or something. And it's got an app. Everything has an app now, right?
Right. It's got an app.
It's got an app.
Your toothbrush has an app.
It has an app.
It was feeling left out, wasn't it?
Well, they all need to talk. This is the thing. All these things are connected, right? They don't want to be left out.
Right.
What is a toothbrush if it's not connected to your phone, which is like connected to yourself?
Soon.
Yeah, well, I mean, but I know it's not connected to me, but I'm connected to my phone in a way that's like closer than my wife. You know what I mean? Like my phone goes everywhere with me.
Yeah, everywhere.
It's right there. I'm looking at it. Yeah, so I need this new toothbrush, right? And apparently it maps how much, it can give you brushing tips. It can say like this part of your mouth you missed, or this part of your teeth you didn't really get good coverage.
And what's the technology being used here?
It's got like a gyroscope or something in it that detects it's the angle of the toothbrush. So it can tell where the toothbrush is in space. and it feeds that all into the app, and so it gives you like a % coverage of your teeth clean.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah,
it should all be automatic, really, shouldn't it? I mean, it's 2023.
This is at what point? This is my thought. At what point are we just putting robots in our mouth that just buzz around? Well, you get in the shower, you chuck a couple in.
Yes.
They're they're buzzing around in there, identifying plaque, chipping away at things.
Yeah, nano machines. We're talking very, very, very small machines.
Nanomachines are very, very small. Like you can put nanobots in your bloodstream and things like that.
Great. I think this is the Metal Gear Solid plot, by the way. Pretty sure this is the plot from Metal Gear. Well, no, it's a subplot of the whole Metal Gear franchise. But nanomachines in your body. We're doing the blood stuff. Are we doing that already?
I don't know. But before we get to nanobots, there's an intermediate. What I'm saying is there's the future is nanobots.
Yes.
Right now, I'm at a handheld toothbrush, electric toothbrush. There's the next model of toothbrush, which has some connectivity to my phone, a little bit more intelligence about it.
Yes.
Everything else. That it's going to start shrinking. The toothbrush is going to start shrinking.
Or going entirely.
To the point that, we might just have a 1 centimeter robot, and then we'll have a 1 millimeter robot, and then we'll have something in between. Then we'll have the nanobot. So I'm going to say it's going to scale down to a nanobot.
You think toothbrushes are the same as sort of the concepts of free energy and perhaps like who killed the electric car? Who tried to kill the toothbrush perhaps? Like, it's 2023. You'd think there'd be some sort of just Listerine-like bottle. You just buy it, yeah? Cap full of that. Pop it in your gob. It does all the stuff.
Yeah.
Everything perfectly. Don't worry about your toothbrush. Throw it in the bin. It does all that, right? This doesn't exist, but it does all that. But that would kill the toothpaste and toothbrush companies. So they would be actively trying to stop this kind of new tech from being a thing because it kills their entire business model.
And they want us to stop. They want us to keep wearing out the
kills the
toothbrush
dentist
heads.
as well. Kills the dentist as well. Dentists don't need them anymore.
This is maybe why the dentist is encouraging me to get another toothbrush.
Yeah, he's part of the racket.
Yeah, the toothbrush industry. He's feeding the toothbrush industry. You're right. Why isn't there something biological? Like you just put some leeches in your mouth and they nibble away all the...
Yeah. Or no, but to your point, the next thing after the electric toothbrush that's connected to your brain would be the big nano machines, which I'm talking to like regular, I don't know, hand size, and they're just going to go, no, maybe not hand size, that's crazy, but big, like a rat-sized thing, and it just goes in there. Machine.
In my mouth.
Yeah, in your mouth.
But toothbrushes are already smaller than rats.
Yeah, no, but this is the technology. These are the robots they're going to make first before they get down the path of doing micro-millimeter robots that can do all the things in your body, because that'll be the future. Just mini machines everywhere doing a gig, getting it done.
But I reckon right now with the technology we have, you could just put an electric toothbrush in your mouth and it would use your teeth like rails, and it would just go like a car wash. You know how you put a car in a car wash?
Or like a mouth guard that cleans,
like a mouth guard
that has machines in it that go
something like that.
Great.
That would we could do that right now, but it's not small enough that I can't really talk. It's going to keep getting smaller, and I haven't even looked at this, but I saw a headline and I saved it because I liked it. It's about a revolution in nanotech, and it's a motor that's 1/10,000th of a millimeter.
That's very small, isn't it? That's what we're talking about here.
Well, this is. I didn't realize we were at that. I don't know if it can clean your teeth.
The precision.
Maybe I should ask. Yeah, it's from the University of Bonn.
Oh yeah, those guys.
BONN.
Yep. Shout outs.
This machine developed at the University of Bonn measures just 1/10,000th of a millimeter. International team of scientists headed by blah blah blah. A novel type of nanomotor. It's driven by a clever mechanism and can produce pulsing movements. This is perfect.
Pulsing movements, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, and they're planning to fit it with a coupling and install it as a drive in complex machines.
No, waste of time. Just give them a toothbrush.
Yeah, just get a couple of bristles. Get some bristles on that thing.
What are you doing? Oh my God. Yeah, the future's scary. Future's definitely scary.
And there's a video you can watch. Researchers design a pulsing nanomotor. Okay. All right. Well, I'll send that to you because I can. Oh. It's not. I've only watched a second of it, but it doesn't look super exciting. I don't know if you want to watch it. You tell me if I should be watching it. Could you screen it for me?
Hang on a sec. Let's have a look. It's
An
animation of this thing. Trying to do its best to be a machine, I guess. Yeah, look, I don't know what I'm looking at, but I imagine it to be very, very small, and I reckon you could put a toothbrush on it, to be perfectly honest. I think that's ready to go as a toothbrush mechanism.
It does almost look ready to go, doesn't it? That's perfect.
What do you think? What is that?
Okay, this motor also needs energy just like any other type of motor. It is provided by the alphabet soup from which the polymerase produces the transcripts. Okay, I skipped a bit in this article to get here. I'm coming through twice in my ear as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
I feel like we're
that's what we're
almost
doing.
there. I feel like we've actually made huge steps.
Close.
I'm living in the Stone Age with my primitive electric toothbrush.
Yes.
But
And how many years do you get out of a toothbrush nowadays?
you have to change the heads. So
yeah,
this one I've had
of course.
This one I've had for about 2 years.
2 years. Is that the cycle, is it? 2 years electric toothbrush in the bin.
Yeah, well, I mean, I listen to the dentist. I listen to the professionals who are pushing these toothbrushes on me.
Of course they are.
And yeah, he was the one that pushed the Waterpik Nano on me as well.
Of course, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I don't really use that anymore.
Right. Have you told him?
No, it's because I went to see him and I started because I knew the dentist
Yeah, did he
appointment
bring
was
it
coming
up?
up. I brought it up.
I
told
you
him-
brought it up.
I brought it up.
You told me,
Mhm.
you said it would be interesting to see if he brings it up. And now you've gone and brought it up.
I forgot that I said I was going to say that. I think I was really stoked to tell him that I had taken his advice and got the Nano.
And?
I told him, I was honest. I told him that I used it a lot to begin with, and I went through this lull where the habit dropped off. And then in the last couple of days before the appointment, I'd got back on the horse.
Okay, great.
I don't think he was particularly impressed. He was happy that I followed his advice. And then that's when he recommended the toothbrush. So he goes, I got this guy. This guy's a believer. He's joined the cult. He's joined the dentist cult. He's bought the Waterpik Nano.
Yeah.
He's got an electric toothbrush.
Yep.
And I can convince him to upgrade that bad boy.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing how every 2 years or so you'll buy a new thing that you've already got? Like a phone.
The phone's the classic.
The phone's a classic, but now I'm hearing that the electric toothbrush has a 2-year cycle as well, which I didn't know that. I'm still on the analogs at the moment. Anyway, imagine bringing someone from 100 years ago and going, we've got this and we've got this and that. This is amazing what you guys can do nowadays. You'd be like, yeah, but in a couple of years, you just chuck this one in the bin. You just throw this one in the bin and you get
we're done with it. Yeah, done with it.
And they go, whoa, but is it still working and functional? Of course, yeah, no, done with it though. Over it, slow now. They keep updating the operating system. He goes, the what? You go, don't worry about it. They keep updating the operating system. It keeps getting funkier and funkier to run. And then the phones eventually get really slow and annoying and you have to get a new one.
Nothing lasts.
Nothing lasts. Yeah, it's weird. Hey, segue from the ridiculous to the more ridiculous.
Oh.
You've heard of a website called you've heard of OnlyFans, haven't you?
Yes.
And it's just sort of people putting up images that you probably can't put up on Facebook.
Yes.
And if you pay money, you subscribe, and sometimes you might get like more salacious pictures and videos.
I was wondering how this worked, to be honest. Not for the reason that you would think.
Right.
I got a charge on my bank account
Yes.
it said it was from OnlyFans.
Great. So
I
you
don't
bought
have an
something-
account or
Wow.
anything. I don't know.
That would
There's
go
one. I don't actually know how you use it. Whether you would get away. It said anyway. I disputed it with the bank, and I got the money back.
Yeah.
My theory was they used OnlyFans in the part. You know, it was like there was numbers and other words and stuff, but there was OnlyFans was in the transaction description. So my theory is that a lot of people have OnlyFans accounts. I assume it's quite popular,
and they'll just think it's a regular thing that comes out, but it's actually it was a scam or something.
Yeah, it was a scam. It was just $100 clean.
Yeah.
And this is why I ask you, how do you pay
or
for
the other
things
possibility
if you
is
know?
that they tried to get some feet pics or something from a lady or something.
Tried to what?
Get some like feet pictures, maybe.
Oh,
maybe
feet
they're into
pics.
that, and maybe they're into something else.
But I was the one, I paid for it.
Yes.
Well, they somehow, I don't know how it worked. They used my card for it. But what? Yeah, like, so do you pay per? How's it work? Do you know how it works? Like broadly,
broadly, yeah. So it'd be subscription based per account. So
subscription. So it's like
so you're
Netflix.
I like this person.
So you pay per
I'll pay
person.
$3.99 or whatever a month or whatever.
So
there's another person, and they'll set a price.
So they're all their own Netflix, and they set a price.
Yeah.
So
they set a price
to see their stuff for
you got to pay money. And
so
then
$100.
I would imagine thereuld be avenues for you to give them more money than the subscription amount for a request.
I've heard
something.
of that. I've heard
you might want
a
request. And you might be willing to part with some hard-earned dollary dues to have that request fulfilled. So there's some people,
donation. We need some donations.
Well, we don't have any sort of means for commerce on the show.
They can send us an email. Someone can send us an email if they want. Vacuous Perspective mail.com.
Good call.
And if they want to donate any money, they can get in contact with us. We'll send them some details. We'll sort it all out. We don't have a bank account or anything.
No. But you can sell all sorts of stuff. People have sold bath water, that they've had a bath in, then they bottle it up and ship it for X amount of dollars. It's just water. But it's water that
dirty.
their idol has bathed in. Yeah, dirty water.
But it has their vaginal mucus in it.
Right.
Yes.
Well, that sort of goes to,
Goes without saying.
Yeah. You have, people might sell their toenail clippings for all I fucking know, right?
Fuck, I've got such a good one if anyone wants it.
They might sell their tears, bottled tears, maybe some sweat, bottled sweat, maybe some underpants. These are the kind of things that people buy from people on the internet. These are the things that people can sell.
Can you sell your jizz?
I don't know. It's a good question. Probably not.
I reckon there'll be some regulations.
There's got to be some regulations around that.
You can't just have that.
Regs. But there is a streamer in America, probably the biggest lady streamer in the world, who is collabing with a beer company to make beer from her vaginal yeast.
You are fucking kidding me.
I am not.
When you say she's big, she's not. Is she a whopper, or does she just have a lot of followers?
She's the biggest YouTube. She's the biggest Twitch celeb.
Oh, okay.
Who's a lady.
Okay.
And she does all the sort of normal, stuff, regular streams, talking to people, I guess. I think she got big during COVID, could be wrong. And, maybe your hot tub stream with another lady, they might do that. So she's got together with this beer company.
She's got special yeast.
They're going to get some of that and be able to essentially use that forever.
Of course they are.
Yep. Because
once they get a sample.
That's it.
Get a little yeast mixture going.
Yeah. So what do you think about that?
I didn't know you could use bodily yeast in, but I mean, it's all yeast, isn't it? Yeast is just an organism.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Is it just because I'm still not okay with it, even if it is.
I thought you needed a brewing yeast, not just any yeast, but I mean, it might evolve because I know some yeast tolerate alcohol better than other yeasts. So the yeasts that make high percentage beer have been That's like that yeast has been bred to tolerate those conditions, a bit like a pug has been selectively bred over many generations to become a pug. It was a wolf once. A Luffingham was a wolf.
Yes.
One of his descendants. He's a direct descendant of a wolf, and it kind of freaks me out.
Mm.
So this vaginal yeast, over time, could morph into something that produces quite nice beer.
So you're on board with it?
I don't know look, if the brewers want to sign off on this thing, then I'm sure it's fine. I mean, because it's going to be fun. It's going to be very removed from her vagina.
I don't think she's the first person to do this. I think the brewing company doing this has a bunch of other ladies that they use for the beers.
I thought this was the first time that they used.
I don't think it is.
There's got to be some health issues with this, right? So they've got their best minds on this. I just hope they have their best minds looking at this.
On their website or some post they made, they did go into pretty great detail on how they do that and how they make sure that it's safe for consumption.
They must isolate the yeast or do something else.
Sure, and they'd have to test it all. Anyway, it's off. I hate it, personally. I think it's kind of gross.
I'm not going to be the first one to drink it. That's all I know.
Well, you won't be able to because it'll sell out.
Oh, really? What's her name?
Her name's Amouranth. Spelled like Amour. And then
she's a redhead.
Yes.
Amouranth. Okay, my computer's frozen. She's a virus. Okay, she's definitely, you can tell she's a streamer.
Yeah. So that was news. Other
29
news.
years old, 1 million subscribers.
Yeah, she's doing all right. Yeah, she's doing all right.
She's doing great. All right. Well, she's diversifying.
Probably makes lots of dollary dues, yeah.
I mean, good on it. I mean, if anyone wants my yeast, do I have any yeast?
I don't think you do, but you could say that you do. If anyone wants any,
I can dig up some yeast.
We'll do some
from somewhere.
beers. We'll do some beers or something.
I can find some yeast on me.
We'll do a bourbon or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, maybe we could do. There's a cat that eats coffee. What do you call them? Coffee. Not ground up coffee. What do you call it? Where before it's been ground up, it's just a bean, right? It eats coffee beans. Shits out the coffee beans. They're only like partially digested. It doesn't fully digest them. Then they use the cat poo to make coffee, and it's apparently the most expensive, best coffee in the world.
Why? Because they can't get enough cats who are willing participants? What's the deal?
Do
they want to eat the coffee? Do they like eating the coffee? Do they like eating it?
I don't know if they force feed it like foie gras.
Force feed it?
Yeah, well, geese, you know how with the foie gras, they force feed the geese whatever they feed them, food, a lot of it, and their liver becomes all fat and inflamed, and then they chop that up, and that's the foie gras, the expensive French condiment.
Is it?
Yeah.
They just don't give a fuck, do they?
Man, it's terrible what they do to them. You should never eat foie gras if you ever get the opportunity, because it's the worst industry. I mean, I guess I'm being hypocritical because I eat eggs and stuff. I suppose that's not a good industry. But they stick a tube down the geese's throat.
Yeah, it's if you told me that these cats love coffee, it's their favorite thing. They love partially digesting coffee and shitting it out. It's their favorite thing. I don't know if I'm okay with it still, but I'm more okay with it. Force feeding geese with tubes.
Yeah. Then
that's
eating their fatty, disgusting liver.
Yeah, because it's obviously they've fucked it.
I'm totally okay with the cats if the cats want to eat the coffee beans.
Yes.
Yeah, they're just shitting it out, and they're having a great time. Then that's fine. We can use that. That's fine. And if I'm going to eat
those
coffee
idiot
beans,
cats have no idea that they're making the most expensive coffee in the world. When we develop the technology, and it'll be an app on your phone to communicate with our animals.
Wow.
I don't know if those industries are going to make it once we can get a wiretap in one of these geese places and be like, hey, how's it going with the tubes and stuff? And they go, I fucking hate this. And you go, right, can't do this anymore, gang.
Like we don't know that already.
With the geese, yes, we do, probably. But with the cats making the coffee, we're not sure yet.
Yeah, we don't know how they make it. That's not...
It's fucking awful.
Yeah, I don't know what the coffee's called, but I can look into it.
Great. And while we're in the news, because we're not the news, but when news happens,
yeah,
got to do the news. Matthew Perry died on the weekend.
Yeah, the wife told me about that one. I'm not good with Friends characters.
Right. No, I didn't watch much Friends.
I didn't watch much at all, but I saw a photo at some point.
Yeah.
Which one's he?
Chandler.
He's Chandler. Okay.
And it's sad because I guess he was really young. But he did have some pretty big health problems leading up to what happened, I guess.
Oh, were they weren't his fault? So it wasn't like he was an alcoholic or anything?
Something happened in 2018. He went into a coma for like 2 weeks. Came out, had to spend 9 months on dialysis. He had given a 2% chance of survival.
Oh, so he's doing pretty well then.
That was 5 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Now he's dead, so he's not doing that great.
No, but I mean, he had a good run.
Oh, I guess so.
After, if he's given 2%, I mean, he's beaten the odds.
Yeah, he did it.
He did it. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
So I can see here he was 54 years old.
Yes.
Okay, and so what? Any news? What happened? So was it the same thing? Was it related to his coma?
We're not. I don't think anyone's sure yet. I think all they know so far is that he drowned in his jacuzzi and that there was no real suspicious nature to it. And he's had a lot of big sort of problems in the past, alcohol-related, drug-related.
I just found this out. Yeah. I'm reading here, last year, Perry released a memoir titled Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing, a memoir where he details his career and struggles with addiction and sobriety.
Well, can you imagine it? He would have been in his like mid-20s, and then you just...
So he started Friends in his mid-20s, did he?
I have no idea. I'm just guessing.
Yeah. Okay, he looks mid-20s in this photo I've seen of all of them. And then it went for...
Well, once the show's gone for that long, you're the biggest show in America, the pressure, all the stress, even though you got all the money, it doesn't matter.
I would have thought that they also have the money, the means, and hopefully the network or whoever does the show helps them through things like this. But also, it's relatively new, isn't it?
You would think so. I think he's been in and out of rehabs for ages, so he obviously had the means to get better and stuff, and obviously the will. But yeah, awful stuff.
That's terrible. When he was 15, Perry moved to LA to pursue acting and also appeared in TV shows Boys Will Be Boys, Growing Pains, Ally McBeal, The West Wing, and Scrubs. Yeah,
I was looking at the West Wing stuff today.
When was he? I haven't seen all of the West Wing, but is it early seasons that he's in that?
No, I don't recall. Oh, okay. So it might have just been he popped up in an ep here or there. The West Wing is 22 long episode seasons, and there's 6 or 7 seasons. That's a shit ton of content. They're 49-minute episodes. Like,
it's huge, isn't it?
It's such a big investment of time. It takes years, I tell people. It takes years to watch The West Wing.
That's why I stopped, and I'm upset with myself. And it's
really good.
I know.
I remember it being a good experience while I was watching it. And then afterwards realizing it took years to do this. Whereas now, which I've been doing lately, I just watch Peep Show like every weekend.
Yeah.
Well, not every weekend. Not every weekend, but there'll be a period of time where I'll just find myself on a part of YouTube which will lead me to Peep Show full seasons.
Yeah, okay,
and they're just all there. And once I click on one, I'm just in it. Sometimes I'll just pick a season out of nowhere. I'll just be like, season, I don't want to watch one. I know one. Season 2, yeah, whatever. I'll start at season 3, and then I'll just end up watching it all again.
That's one of the few shows I've rewatched, so I have to say it's good, and I liked it the second time as well. What I like though,
good.
I started watching that compilation that you got me onto, where it's just Super Hans.
The Super Hands compilation, the best video on YouTube. Yeah.
So is that just every segment, every part of the series that he is in chronological order?
Yeah. So you get. I tell people you can watch the whole reason to watch Peep Show. One of the good reasons to watch it is so you can watch the Super Hands compilation on YouTube, where it's just every one of his scenes, because he's probably my favorite character in the show. Every time he pops up, he's like the Kramer. He's kicking around doing weird shit.
He's like even zanier, way zanier, and more real than Kramer.
Yeah. It's if Kramer was a crackhead and very overtly was
100%
a party animal. And so the Super Hands edit is so good, but it's worth watching the whole show so that you can appreciate the Hands edit, right? And you get to see the whole show play out again, but it only takes an hour and 14 minutes or something. But you can feel all the beats. You know where everyone else is at, but you're only seeing it through Hands' eyes. It's great.
Yeah, I'm actually going to watch that because I just started watching it just to get a feel for what it was when you told me about it, and it's really funny. Man. It's great.
It's so good. And you can just click anywhere in that video. You can click 45 minutes in and you'll have a good time. Like you'll have a good time anywhere in that video. It's just how well they managed to do that. And I'm going to say it because I probably said it before, but Peep Show is not written by Robert Webb and David Mitchell. It's not created by them at all. They had nothing to do with the production.
Okay.
But they're often credited with it because they seem like they are just their characters.
Yeah.
So
I just
might get
assumed
brought
it
up
was
on a
them.
talk show that they wrote it. He's like, we didn't write it. Like,
yeah. Okay. So and they didn't write any of it.
Very clever, funny people. Yeah.
Okay.
No, none of it.
Because they wrote some of their own stuff though, didn't they?
Yeah. When they did their sketch comedy shows, they did a bunch. They did one for radio. Then they did one for TV, and it was sketch comedy. Good times were had. Good sketches. I'm not a big fan of sketch comedy, but they're good sketches. Is that Luff?
He is somewhere going off. I'm not sure exactly where he is because I've got these noise cancelling headphones on, but he's coming through the microphone and that's getting played into my ear.
Yeah. So you can hear him.
Yeah, I can hear him. Yeah.
Just sounds like he's at someone else's house.
Yeah, he's in the distance somewhere.
Yeah.
He's very, very upset. If he keeps going, I'll grab him.
So that's West Wing.
It's on the list. I keep putting things on the homework list, and
you can't put the West Wing on homework list.
But what I'm thinking about doing is a couple of things I haven't been doing that I've been meaning to do on relating to this show. One of them is you may have noticed my YouTube videos have fallen off lately in the last few weeks.
Oh, you mean the shortened segment videos?
Yes. I normally do 2 a week.
Yeah.
But I haven't set aside a time to do it, and I'm just not in the habit of it's just never in the week do I sit down thinking, I'm just going to do it now. I'll do something else if I don't have to do it. So correct. Wednesday, yes. On the Wednesday, I'll figure out where the time cuts are of the video for a short or two that I like. And the first thing I do when I get home, all I have to do is it takes me about 5 minutes. I just bang it out, get it on there, tell you do your thumbnails, and they're done. And they're going to be up. But if I don't do it on Wednesday, then I'm just not going to do it. Maybe on the weekend if I run out of things to do, but that just doesn't happen. Like I did the tour to Gracetown on Saturday morning.
Yeah, right.
Starting in Gracetown, finishing somewhere else, 107 Ks. So I had to drive down to Gracetown on Friday afternoon.
You got to drive there so that you can ride 100 Ks.
Yeah, then I drove immediately back.
Yeah. So a lot of travel.
There was more traveling. So 6 hours of driving, 4 hours of riding.
You're just moving a lot.
When I'm on the bike. Oh yeah. My velocity was.
Yeah, you're keeping some sort of forward velocity going at all times.
It's funny. We're on this, like I'm on this ball that's probably traveling about 60,000 kilometers a second. But I feel like I'm not going anywhere. You're just putting in a bit of
extra work, yeah. Just put a little bit extra in.
And I'm riding it, averaging 28 kilometers an hour.
You know, because if we were to tally up the distance traveled just between me and you, me leading a little bit less active lifestyle at the moment, I reckon our numbers would be pretty much the same, like negligible. If you take into account the spinning and all that sort of stuff, I reckon, you've got me. You've definitely got me, but it's not by a big margin.
But you know how time is affected by the speed that you're traveling? Sure,
yeah.
If you send things orbiting, they did the experiment with 2 atomic clocks, which are linked. So the atomic clocks are the best, most accurate way of measuring time that we have, extremely accurate. And they had 2 of them that were set, they were synchronized together. And they put one on something that was orbiting the Earth. So it's traveling at whatever, free fall is around the Earth. So it's going pretty fast. And they left it up there for months, I believe, took it down, and it was a couple of seconds. Or, I don't even know the stats, but it was.
You don't know the margin. Yes.
Don't know the margin, but it was slightly different, but ever so slightly. And that thing is moving. That's in free fall relative to the other one that's on. So clearly the relative speed of those 2 things, when you take into account they're both relative to the Earth, how the Earth is moving through the universe, that's obviously moving far, far faster because that's the determinative force, not the fact that one's falling around the other. You know what I mean? Like the margin of error was very small. Speaking of speed, so I don't know. I don't know anything about that. That's just how I feel about it. But I came across something with speed. I think it was last week we were talking about the Parker Solar Probe.
Yeah, the one that they had that was picking up a lot of speed going around the sun.
That's right. I didn't know, but that set the record for the fastest human-made object in history.
I think I said something to that effect. I said something like, that's got to be the fastest thing we've ever shot. Like,
yes, and you're right. I didn't know it.
Yeah, wow. It's the fastest thing.
It was going 635,000 kilometers an hour on its approach to the sun when it skimmed it at 7 million kilometers from the surface.
Yeah.
And so it started making me thinking, right, this is you said, I think you were asking how fast we can get something to travel and what percentage of the speed of light it is. So I started thinking, how close have we got to the speed of light? This is the fastest thing we've ever had.
Yes.
And it's pretty disappointing.
Yes, go on.
Because the speed of light is 300 million meters per second.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. And my calculations, I did a quick one, that's 1.07 billion kilometers per hour.
Okay.
And let's just check that. Could you just Google? I'm pretty sure I got that off Google, just asking what's the speed of light in kilometers per hour.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure that's right.
Can you just confirm that for me? So we have the speed of the fastest known human-made object.
Fucking hell.
What's up?
Yeah. 1.07 billion.
Yeah. So if you take 635,000 kilometers per hour and divide it by 1.07 billion and then times it by 100, it's not good. It's 0.06% the speed of light.
0.06%.
That's all we've got.
Yeah. So now we need to do some different calculations, right? Because that is the speed limit, right?
The speed of light is the speed limit.
No. Our speed limit right now is how close we can skim the fucking sun, right? So if we can skim it at 1 million kilometers, that'll increase the speed by 7 times, roughly.
Is this based on your knowledge of Kerbal Space Program?
Nah, I'm just trying to add the numbers I'm timesing it by 7 because we're getting
saw a
7 times closer.
Yeah.
We're getting 7 times closer. That means it's got to be 7 times the speed, roughly. I said roughly, didn't I? I did say roughly. So if we can times that by 7, it's still not good. We're still only 0.034% the speed of light. So any scientist out there that thinks we're going to be using the sun to slingshot us to speed of light, it's not going to happen. Can't happen.
But I think that you can do multiple slingshots and they're cumulative.
Really?
Because you've got a certain speed.
Yeah.
And then if
need
you
to be orbiting it.
Yeah, I guess you do need to. I don't know. But this is how the slingshot works the first time is you just get a gravity assist, you go close to something, you start falling around it. So I know that it's done a number of Venus flybys as a part of its life so far, this Parker solar probe. And it's going to do more flybys of the sun and they're going to get closer. Apparently the closest is in late 2024. Yeah. And it's going to be 6.1 million kilometers from the surface. And that's
the closest it's going to get.
That is the closest.
So we're going to set a new world record.
Well, it says it's likely to reach even greater speeds on its final trip.
Yeah. It will.
It will.
It has to.
But that disappointed me a lot because I thought if you asked me how close can we get to the speed of light, I would say, I reckon we could get 5%.
Wow.
I would have said because I thought
let's cut him a bit of slack in that this was a solar probe. Its job was not to be the fastest thing, so its design wasn't around being the fastest thing that we can make. It's given us a good blueprint of what to shoot at. Shoot at the fucking sun, right? But use, I'm imagining, essentially a projectile just getting launched, same pattern, and just send it. It's got to be the way. But that's if we're trying to do the fastest speed we can. And I'm sure that they're probably thinking of way better ideas than slingshotting off the sun. That'd be a really scary trip.
Oh, wouldn't it? But the problem is if we can't get close to the speed of light, the prospect of traveling through the universe is impractical.
Do you think this is probably what a lot of the aliens have also surmised? Like they've got to the point where they're like, look, we've slung shot off the sun, our local star, and we got 0.05% the speed of light gain. So we're stuck here. We're stuck here. We're stuck in this galaxy. This even just solar system.
Because the closest star to us is 4 light years away. So even if we get to the ability of going 100% of the speed of light, it's going to take us 4 years to get there. That
sounds pretty close, though, in space terms, doesn't it?
But we can only go 0.06% of the speed of light. So even if we get it up to 10% of the speed of light, right? Even that's a monument. That is orders of magnitude faster than what we've achieved now. It's still going to take us 40 years if we get it up to 10%, which just seems unforeseeable.
Yeah.
Seems impossible. But I mean, like you're saying, we haven't actually tried. We haven't built something for speed yet. This thing's just flopping around. As we said, this is caveman stuff we're doing at the moment. We are, if you think about what we're doing in space right now, the fact that we for the first time ever, humans moved a celestial object when it imparted some degree of force on an asteroid to try and change its trajectory. The dart
just
test.
As a proof of concept. Yeah, just as a proof of concept.
Dart test.
Deviate some pesky asteroids. Yeah.
So that is the first time we have even impacted the solar system, or the universe.
Yeah, you could argue that we've shot stuff into the moon before because we did that in the 60s. We've shot stuff.
Oh, but I guess measurable, in a measurable way because the stuff that's hit the moon, it's
But we've been chucking stuff up for a while, just throwing it out, throwing it around.
Yeah.
And now we're playing a game of asteroids where we're trying to clip them, and we clipped them.
We did. We clipped it.
And if we wanted to send a team of oil drillers up there to fucking nuke the sucker, we could.
We got the nukes. We got the oil drillers.
Exactly.
We have the craft.
It's ready to go. And you'd get there pretty quick, wouldn't you? It would only take you like 8 or 9 years to get to it, probably. That's the issue. We can't even get around our own neighborhood, man.
Oh, not even close.
Not even close.
There's a pretty cool, you know how the Mars Curiosity rover has a small helicopter on it?
Yeah, little drone boy. Yep.
Drone boy. You should see what NASA wants to fly on Saturn.
Can you even fly on Saturn?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's got an atmosphere. It's a nuclear.
But it's not a Jupiter. It's not a Jupiter scenario.
It's a gas. It's a gas giant. Yes,
it is a gas giant. So won't it just get pulled in and mauled?
I don't know. There is within the gas giants. There is solid material, but we don't know how deep it is.
I heard Jupiter's particularly treacherous. No chance of that ever happening. It's more of a. But I can't believe.
Sorry. It's Saturn's moon Titan. Sorry.
It's a moon.
Yes. It's called Dragonfly.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a nuclear-powered, car-sized aerial drone.
Fantastic. Probably operating life of about 100 years. What's its operating life? Is it nuclear?
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
So
if a submarine goes for 35 years, I mean, granted, that's not car-sized. The reactor would be car-sized or bigger in the nuke sub. So it's got to be a very small nuclear reactor going on for this car-sized drone.
I've just chucked an article in general for you.
Yeah, I'm clicking on it.
Look at
it. Yeah, fantastic. Looks great. Doesn't look scary at all.
It doesn't actually.
It does.
It doesn't have a lot of information about it.
If you're one of the residents of whatever moon this is going to at Saturn, you'd be pretty scared of it.
But this just goes to what we were saying before, how when we encounter aliens, it's far more likely to be their technology because we are not getting off this planet into any star systems nearby to us anytime soon, or maybe if ever, for that matter. But our nuclear-powered Dragonfly car-sized drones, we're gonna be sending them somewhere. You know, they're gonna be getting around.
They'll get around.
What we have to do
the good news is you don't need to activate them till they get there. You send them on something else, so you can start their lifespan once they reach somewhere.
Yes, and by that time they'll be very old technology,
obsolete completely.
Yeah, but I mean the travel time is important for them.
Yeah.
For everything.
You know what's weird, isn't it? This is something I've never thought about before, but we are creating, as the human race, we are creating space archaeology. We're sending up all these different models of stuff. Presumably most of it never comes back. You know, it just lives out in space somewhere. It's a whole new field of space archaeology, you know, in the sense that an alien could pick it up and be like, oh, I've seen these before. These are those humans from that star. And this is a Series 7. So this was made in their 1990s. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what's going to happen is Voyager 1. This is what is going to happen. I can tell you now. I've looked into the Oracle. I can tell you.
Yes.
One day, Voyager 1 and 2 are in the outer solar system right now. They're dwindling. They're sending back, bits of data. They're from the 70s, right? That's old tech. They're sending back data about it's called the Oort cloud in the outer solar system. Then they're traveling fast, but relative to what we'll be able to do later, they're probably not going that fast. One day, they will run out of juice and they won't be doing anything. They're just space junk. But we'll just swing by and collect them, take them back to they'll be sitting in some museum, the Smithsonian Museum in Washington. Yeah, they'll just pick them up.
Don't you think there'll be people who would argue for the preservation of history in space? Let it go. Don't grab it. Because I can imagine, I'm seeing what you're seeing, a rocket that's faster, a ship that's faster, just pulling up alongside it. Because they go, what was the trajectory of Voyager again? Oh, we shot it fucking that way. Yeah, all right, cool. Bang. It goes really fast. It just overtakes them, just pulls up and grabs it. And See you later.
The reason why they'll grab it, though, is it's not safe out there for it. It's only a matter of time until something destroys it. So they'll think, let's
preserve it.
Maybe they'll put a protective like bubble around it, and it will trap. The bubble will travel with the
it's still
the
doomed.
Satellite with the
it's still
spacecraft.
Completely doomed.
Oh, it is doomed. But we'll one day we'll catch up to it, and someone will take that golden record and start listening to the tunes.
Yeah. See, this is the other problem that you're going to have is you'll have Saganists, who say that record is not for us. We shipped it. We don't want it here. It needs to be in space for it to be collected by someone else, not you, not us, someone else. So they can learn how to build a record player, presumably. I don't know.
I'm surprised not more people do that cryo-freezing thing.
Well, you don't think enough people are doing it?
I'm just surprised not more people think I'm not going to cremate myself and spread my ashes everywhere. Yeah. Because I'm going to keep my body together and, let the future take care of me. I'm just surprised there's not more. So Walt Disney did it, right?
You're talking about freezing yourself after you're dead?
I don't. But I mean, if
really you're dead, what's freezing you going to do? Pop you in the freezer? That's not good.
It's a problem for a later time when the tech. They'll just pop some electricity
everybody,
in you,
has anyone
right?
figured out how to bring back dead people yet? No. Okay, I'll check tomorrow. Do you freeze yourself knowing that technology exists, or do you?
Well, I think you freeze yourself when you have. I don't know if you wait till you're dead or if you freeze your dead body. Oh, sorry, I don't know if you wait. If you freeze dead body.
If we're freezing, don't you want to freeze now?
No. I
don't want to be. I don't want to be a frozen 85-year-old. No,
but they'll figure out. They'll figure out the.
Figure out what?
The aging thing. They'll start reverse aging. Yeah, right. Benjamin Buttons will be.
Right.
Will be a real thing.
No, it'll be fucking 300 pills a day and baby blood or whatever. It won't be good fun.
Found an article here, bbc.com. Have you heard the rumor that following his death, Walt Disney was frozen?
The answer is yes, I've heard that rumor.
Mm-hmm. But that was also following his death. I didn't know if he was still alive or not.
Right, you needed that qualified. Yes. Okay, so he was dead.
Let's see what the bottom line is of this. There's variations of the popular myth. You may have heard the version that it was just his head.
Futurama style.
Yeah. Or that it's currently stored under Disneyland's Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Right. Good rumor.
I'll have to watch a video to find out if there's any truth to it.
No, you don't.
That's what it says. Press play to watch the video above. I don't want to.
No, just get some different information. I mean, surely Snopes have done something on it by now.
Surely Wikipedia knows. So what's Snopes? I can see it here.
I think they just do like...
a fact checker.
It's a fact check thing.
I don't believe people that tell me they're fact checkers.
Yeah, well, this one's given it a rating of false.
Yeah, okay. I believe them now. Thanks, Snopes.
But I'm sure it's happened.
Yeah, I'm just surprised there's not more people giving it a crack.
Well, how much does it cost? Does it cost a lot of money?
Oh, I suppose, yeah, because you have to keep the freezer on.
Yeah. And I don't think there's charity organisations that are opting to keep, dead people frozen for a future generation.
Okay, I've figured it out. I figured it all out. It all makes sense now.
Great.
It all makes sense. So what you do is you freeze yourself and then you launch yourself into space like the Voyager 1 probe.
Right, catch up with me.
Because it's cold in deep space, so you don't have to worry about the freezer.
Yeah, operating costs are pretty low.
Yeah, all you have to do is it's one launch. At the moment, it's $10,000 per kilo to get something into orbit.
Right,
so to get me into orbit,
yes,
82.
half a mil.
Half a mil. Well, and that's going to
600
come down.
grand?
That's going to come down
That'll
real
come down
quick.
a little bit. That'll come down a little bit.
How good would it be to, at your mate's funeral, you see
Launch
the
a
rocket
fucking
go up
rocket.
and their fucking body is going into outer space? That is the way I want to go.
Right. It's an expensive funeral.
That's actually what the Egyptians were trying to do. They want to live in the stars. They're trying to achieve, they're trying to live
Space
in
flight?
the afterlife. But, that's the closest thing you can do. Launching your dead body into the stars
Yep.
is closer than any
I
of
think
the
you're onto
Egyptians
something
got
there.
to
Yeah,
it.
I think you're onto something there. I also think it's a great business idea.
Oh, yeah. Elon needs to market this. I need to get in touch. We need to chat.
I don't know how you can make the idea of launching dead bodies into space palatable, but
okay.
that's what we're talking about, isn't it?
Think about the carbon
It's
capture concept.
It's a new funerary process.
It's a new funerary process and it's good for the environment because I'm taking a lot of carbon with me.
No, but they have to expel a lot of stuff to get you up there. Resources.
Yeah, but we'll sort that out. We'll sort out an e-rocket.
Sort out all that?
An e-rocket.
E-rockets, right.
Yeah.
Rechargeable
e-rockets.
Completely reusable.
Completely reusable.
Recyclable. Completely free to use.
And you're doing a bit for the environment. If we eject enough humans,
are you doing a bit?
Because do you know what they're doing with some empty depleted gas fields? They're using them because they're just big chambers that they've sucked out, fucking shitloads of gas from. And then now they're just empty hollows in the earth. They're using them for carbon sequestration. They take them and people pay them to deposit carbon dioxide, methane, other carbon-rich things in. You jam them back in. And they get paid for it.
Is that good?
Well, yeah, it's good because we're trying to reduce the amount of greenhouse gases. So we store them away and hope they never show their face again. We just jam them back in there. It's like putting a fart back in.
Yeah, fart bottles.
Yeah, it's a big fart bottle on the earth.
Yeah. No, we do that a lot though, don't we? Nuclear waste, same thing. Just build a big thing over it.
Yeah.
Just pop a cap on that.
So what I'm
put
saying,
a sign up that says don't.
So that's the old way of doing it, right? Because what happens if you have like an earthquake and all the fart gets out, all that stuff? That's the old way. That's carbon sequestration where we're jamming it back in. So what I'm saying is we launch the dead bodies out. We launch them out into space.
But it's weird that you're doing this so that you can one day be resurrected.
No, I'm doing it to reduce the amount of carbon on Earth.
Well, you've changed then because before it was about being a frozen body on the cheap.
Yeah, no. So there's two reasons. There's a selfish reason, right? And that's to live forever in the stars when a future technology.
You just want to. Okay, no. So you do want to be brought back.
Oh, if the option's there, but in the meantime, I'm taking a lot of carbon out of this Earth.
Yeah. But don't the things that your body breaks down into also belong to the Earth? That's like your gift.
There's probably some good stuff.
You got to give that back. That's
Mate,
the whole thing.
I'm full of nanoplastics, mercury. I've got processed meats coming all out all my bits. I'm not.
You're
probably a
talking
healthy
yourself
person.
down, man. You're talking yourself down. I'm sure you're full of nitrogen and all that sort of good shit.
Yeah, I've got a
I'm
bit of
sure
nitrogen.
you've got heaps, man. I'm sure you're highly nitrogous.
Thanks, man.
Don't talk yourself down, bro.
Thanks, man. I think I needed that because I was about to launch myself.
You are valued
SpaceX rocket
on this Earth.
And you know what? Maybe my carbon can do something productive. Maybe this combination.
Yes.
Maybe this is the winning combination.
The winning combination. Wow, you think it could be?
I might have the winning combination of molecules going on.
To go into space or to stay here?
No, to do something. I don't know what it is yet, but to do something. Know what it is. Yes, it's I'll figure that out later. That's not important.
Right. In the meantime, just send me on the stars. Here's your $600,000 check. I'll see you at my funeral.
That's what you do. You charge an admission to your funeral to watch the rocket, and it pays for the rocket. So it's basically free. Basically free.
$10,000. Yeah.
And who wouldn't pay to go to their mate's funeral? If you classified it as a donation that was helping the environment, it's like when you buy your plane ticket.
It's really hard to help the environment at present time by launching a rocket.
Oh, they're finding that out. SpaceX at the moment, they're having trouble getting this environmental approval for their second
test.
The second, what do you call it? Starship test. Yeah, they're really having some problems. They'll get it.
They got the approval like the day of last time, right?
Yeah, no one gives a fuck about the environment. Look, seriously, a couple of salamanders died and they were like, we cancel the whole space program.
Yeah, well, you got to protect the salamanders. They can't protect themselves. They can't lobby the government to stop the NASA rockets.
No one gives a fuck about all the other animals that we kill and we abuse every day. Like all the...
What about the geese?
Literally... Yeah, no one gives a fuck about the geese, tell you the truth. I don't see anyone raising any issues with this.
I think there should be. I think it's only got away with it because it's a delicacy in that it's not something that you order off the main menu, right? It's not on the main menu, is it?
I had it in a burger once.
Like frog's legs. That's down the page, right? It's got to be down the page a bit.
Oh, I think it's an appetizer. I think it's right at the beginning of the menu.
Chuck it at the start.
Yeah.
A couple of these. Do you reckon they just...
Snails, frog's legs.
Yeah. They must have just had a lot of frogs.
Oh, it rained frogs, didn't it, in the Bible? Was it frogs that it rained? Or was it death? It was both once.
No, there's a lot of things that got rain in the Bible. Well, yeah.
Oh, I think it was the frogs to begin with, and that was a sign that God was unhappy.
I thought it was locusts.
Death was to follow. I'm just going to check.
Locusts?
Did it rain frogs?
I think it did rain frogs. Because that imagery of you saying raining frogs, I think that rings true to me somewhere about it raining frogs. But that's not in France. That's in Egypt.
No, frogs falling from the sky. It is mentioned in the Bible.
Yeah, Egypt.
Oh, yeah, frogs were one of the plagues upon Egypt. Yeah, okay, good. Locusts probably also
got the
in the mix, yeah.
What, you got the list?
No, it's just a... So quora... What is quora? Is that just what people ask? Is that just the thing that answers questions? What is quora?
No idea. It's got what is it as a website for facts?
I don't know. Like sometimes when I ask things, it comes up as a suggestion. I don't really know what it is. Okay, so just before we're done with space, there's a space toilet now because we're commercializing space. What is better than putting a bathroom in space?
Oh boy, well, you got to take a shit while you're up there, but what are you talking about here?
So I actually haven't looked at this, so this is all fresh to me, but Space Perspective unveils Space Spa restroom for balloon tourist flights.
So you can take a shit in space?
Yes.
Is that on people's bucket lists? Like going to space maybe was before, but maybe they've done that once or twice already. So now they need to take it up a notch?
Seems that way. A uniquely designed restroom called the Space Spa will become part of its Spaceship Neptune capsule. So it takes you high into the Earth's atmosphere in a pressurized capsule. You can see the blackness of space. It doesn't get you to space like they never do, but they get you right up there. You can see the curvature of the Earth for all the flat earthers.
All the windows are curved.
Oh, good one. How long a flat Earth is going to hold on to it if you're literally going up there to do shits and you can see it?
Yeah, if the windows aren't curved.
Yeah, but someone's just going to crack a window. It's going to get to the point. It's going to get to the point where you'll be doing. It's going to get to the point where it's just undeniable, where you're literally just looking at it.
Yeah, look, those moments are going to happen. I'm surprised they don't happen all the time. Like, surely there's enough people, like, for the big flat earthers to sponsor them to go do something like this. But, like, I don't know, man. Like, there's no curved windows on a hot air balloon, and we get those pretty fucking high.
Exactly. I don't know. So
curvature of the Earth, blackness of space. Anything else? Any other features? Oh yeah, we do have one more feature. If you just join me over here, we have a place where you can take a big shit.
I reckon they should just drop the shit out of. It should just be a long drop toilet, and it
100% would be
burn up in the atmosphere.
It 100% would be, because this is medieval space. This is the early days of commercial space, right? So it's the medieval out there. It's drop toilets. Are you kidding me? Of course it is. Well, you think it's going to be a nice flushy toilet with a little, what is there, a cistern there? What, someone comes and picks up the shit like in a little truck? No, of course they don't. So is it a restaurant as well? So you got a restaurant up there? Or is it just take a shit and get out?
I don't know if this is just a bathroom, because I thought this company, Spaceship Neptune, I haven't had a proper look at this, but I thought that was some kind of, I don't know if it's a restaurant. They did have food involved, didn't they? We were looking at this.
Surely restaurants in space. I mean, surely, right? That's a very easy point to start at. Surely restaurants in space, right?
There was. We were talking about this bloody lobster thermidor or something that they had on. I think it was this Neptune. What's it called? Spaceship Neptune.
They had lobster on board, so they deemed that to be a restaurant.
Well, they had some Michelin star food associated with their balloon flight.
Yeah, great. I love that. But they're not going to space, are they?
Oh, they got world-class food and beverage offerings, plush seating, and a host of amenities, including bespoke headphones, Wi-Fi, and specialized amenity kits. That's just what you have on planes.
Well, yeah, but hot air balloon, is that right? That has Wi-Fi connectivity, and you can watch Netflix while you're what? What are you doing?
So a seat's 125,000.
Imagine getting on there and you're like, man, these seats are so comfy. What's the Wi-Fi password? Oh yeah, here's the Wi-Fi password. Yeah, great. Cool. I'm up to a pretty good episode of The West Wing, so I'll be watching that for the next 45 minutes. Let me know if anything good happens.
They've made $200 million in sales, and they're not doing their first commercial flight until late 2024.
Oh my God.
I told you, we just have to make up some bullshit, make it look good.
$200 million. Recyclable. Yeah.
Space toilets. They're making $200 million from space toilets.
It says the spa. I mean, is it just a toilet? I really want it to be just a toilet.
Okay. Oh, wait. And there's no need for a vacuum toilet like astronauts contend with, or a diaper. Having a proper and beautiful design restroom contributes significantly to the accessible and unique experience we are offering, and accentuates the incredible views of the deep blackness of space, the brilliant thin blue line of our atmosphere, stars above Earth below. Looks pretty plush.
And you can have a shit.
Do you reckon you'll ever do a space poo?
Yeah. I think I'm optimistic enough to think that in my lifetime the prices of space travel will be considerably lower, and I think pooing will be just part of regular space travel by that time. So, yeah, look, I'll definitely be booking a pooing seat.
Oh, yeah, a craft with a toilet, yes.
It'll be an optional extra. Do you want to check any baggage? No, it's okay. It's just me. Will you be having a shit? I want the option.
I don't know how space affects your bowel.
Yeah.
I would have thought that as you, like a plane, my bowel goes a bit funny. So I can only imagine the higher you go, the worse it gets.
It might be the opposite. It's weird for me to be on this side of this sort of argument, but maybe it's amazing. Maybe it's way better. Maybe you have the best shit ever. Maybe you'll never be able to shit again.
Maybe it just falls out like a tranquil petal. It just, maybe because there's no gravity, maybe it just floats and it's like an orb. It just hovers. It just sits there like a droplet, a perfect droplet, perfectly round.
Yep, and it floats right in front of you, and it's got a little smiley face. It's got a face. It's talking. It's talking to you. Your poo's now alive. This is how beautiful poos are meant to be. But we're constantly flushing them down the toilet, ending their suffering.
I can just see like a poo flubber.
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey.
We could make a whole show about like someone who has carefree sentient poo. Yeah.
No, well, like maybe just someone who knows that they're pooing out sentient beings.
Wow.
and sort of keeps them alive. Maybe makes a big poo monster out of them, you know?
I reckon you have the right diet because it's weird. If you eat the right things, there is a chance that all the molecules do group together there's a chance. I'm not saying it's a good one.
Yeah.
But if you get
we'll
all the
brush
right...
over this very quickly in the script, though, like all the sciencey stuff, because we won't be able to do much with that.
If you get all the right components in there...
Yeah. You can create life.
They're all smashing around in there. It could just form just luckily. Like maybe this is how life happened in the first place.
I'd say it's likely.
It's likely.
If not 100%.
It's the only way I can actually see it going down if I really think about it.
Yeah, and if I apply some additional thought, I completely agree.
Okay, I think we've taken the flubber poo as far as we can take it right now. I want to ask you before we run out of time, because I know that we could just keep going on that forever, because I'm actually not done with it, but we should move on. I know nothing about it, but Fury, I didn't know. Firstly, I did not know Tyson Fury was doing a boxing match with Ngannou.
And that happened on the weekend in Saudi Arabia.
Some guy in my work came up to me and was telling me how, he goes, I know it's unlikely, but I've put a bet on Ngannou to beat Fury. And I'm like,
what are you talking about?
Are you talking about, mate? I was like,
Yes.
what? I had no idea what he was talking about. And he goes, this Sunday. So
did he bet on Francis?
He did, because he was paying 10-1, and I said, "Yeah."
He must be gutted.
Gutted
Because
a
lot of people are saying that it was not only a close fight, but some people are saying Ngannou probably won.
You are kidding me.
Yeah,
I said he would have no chance. I thought it would be a Mayweather-McGregor situation again, and it should be.
It should be. It's an
How did he do
undefeated
it?
heavyweight boxing champion of the world facing an MMA fighter. Yeah, it does make
sure.
sense.
Sure, Ngannou has what? He's got the world record for the hardest punch.
On their UFC's Performance Institute machine. I don't think it's is it an official world record?
I thought it was.
I don't think everyone had a crack yet. So maybe he's just the most baddest person yet to use the machine.
And
But it's one of those punching machines that you see down at Time Zone. It's kind of like that, except it's installed at the UFC PI, which means that apparently it's measurable.
Well, measurable is an important part. It's like we were looking at the world records for marathons, and back in the early 20th century, it was only US guys that held the record, but it's probably because they were the only place you could get a recognized time that stood up to the rigors of the, Guinness World Records or whoever was doing it. Ngannou holds the current world record of the hardest punch in the world, having registered striking power of 129,000 units on a power cube.
Yeah, power cube's the UFC PI's punching machine.
Right. And maybe if I had a UFC PI punching machine, I could have the world record.
Yes. But I doubt it. I reckon he'd punch harder than you. And because he's so good at punching people and because I've seen him knock people out before, he does have a chance to win a fight, any fight. If he clips him in the right spot at the right time, see you later. GG.
I've seen him clip Alistair Overeem and nearly take his head off.
Yep. So I didn't watch the fight itself. I did watch some highlights, and I can't tell who wins from highlights, man.
Was there
just the exchanges?
Some big punches thrown?
Ngannou actually did knock him down in one of the rounds. So I think here's how the maths added up. I think Fury outstruck him with strikes. Ngannou got more power strikes off, so he won the power strike battle.
Yeah.
And Fury got knocked down.
Okay, yeah, Fury got knocked down in round 3. It was a 10-round fight, apparently.
Wow. I didn't think anyone would thought it would go the distance, right? It was definitely not meant to go the distance. Someone was going to get clipped.
The title wasn't on the line, of course.
Really?
Could you imagine that? The WBC title was not on the line.
So what's the point? What's the problem with him losing?
Exhibition. Oh, well, you just don't want to look like a little bitch. You don't want to lose a boxing
here's
match.
Here's the thing. Like, this is one of those weird things in boxing where they have a follow-up fight booked before their fight's even finished. When Conor McGregor fights someone for the title or whatever, they don't have the next fight lined up necessarily. Sometimes they do because there's like a clear number one contender, but the majority of the time they go, cool, what's next kind of thing, because we don't know who's going to be the champ tomorrow. We don't know if it's going to be Jose Aldo or Conor McGregor, so we don't know what the next fight is because it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
But in this case, they'd already booked this other championship fight between Fury and Usyk. I don't know how to say his name. And he's also a heavyweight undefeated boxer. So the bullshit fuckery that was that could have potentially gone down is that they wanted to preserve his undefeated record because he's going against another undefeated guy, and that was a great way to build the fight, is have two undefeated guys go. It also doesn't remove any steam from Fury. Fury's still undefeated.
Well, and he can bleed. He tumbled. I've seen him go down. Not that I watch boxing, but I did see.
Yeah, so the damage is done.
Deontay Wilder. Yeah.
Anyway, look, it's good for Ngannou because he got $20 million dues.
Did he?
Yeah, I think that would be pretty much
so
what payday would have been.
Does he have a UFC contract?
No. Dana hates him. Dana's done one of those things where he just deletes him from his brain and he doesn't even know his name anymore.
Yeah, it's a bit sad. So is Ngannou going to go into boxing as a career, or is he just one and done?
That's a good question. I would say if I was a betting man that he'd probably do some MMA after this.
So other organisations want a piece of him?
I would say so. Yeah, 100% other organisations would want a piece of him. They'll take any UFC, ex-UFC guy. Do
you want to start a organisation? Maybe we can get him on board. He can be like our...
Ngannou.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give him a buzz.
Okay, space fighting.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That hasn't been done yet.
That hasn't been done. We'll put a ring up with the space toilet.
Did we talk about this already?
I don't think so.
You've seen phone book fighting. You've seen jungle gym fighting. And you've seen X-Arm.
Seen X-Arm. Well, this is going to be a sphere.
Power slap.
It's going to be a sphere, and there's no gravity.
No. And you've seen power slap. But are you aware of something called Car-jitsu?
Oh, I forgot about it. You mentioned the concept to me the other day.
Yeah.
Can we watch some?
Yeah, let's get some Car-jitsu up.
Car-jitsu.
Yeah.
So, and the premise, as far as I understand it, which sounds hilarious, it sounds so ridiculous. I can't wait. Is I don't know if you're trained fighters, but you have two people in the front seat of a car, both with your seatbelt on.
Both with your seatbelt clipped in.
And then how does it start? Does someone blow a whistle or fire a gun, or what happens?
Yep. You go start, and then it's basically...
Who starts it? Where's the ref? Outside the window?
There's got to be a ref outside the car.
Is the car parked in a ring inside a stadium, or is it just in a parking lot?
It just looks like it's parked in a gym environment, but I'll stream it for you so you don't have to ask where it's set. We got all the setup we need. We've got Car-jitsu. There's two men in a car. This guy on the right actually looks really familiar. He could be a referee of the other slap fighting promotion. So this could come out of the same place.
This is going to be so hectic. So do you wear gloves? Okay, let's just watch it.
Okay, so I'm gonna press start. It's gonna start really quickly, and they're gonna try and get out of those seatbelts because if you've still got your seatbelt on, you are fucked.
I can see it's a 3-minute round.
Yep, 3-minute rounds. All right, let's have I don't know if this is gonna be a full video. So already trying to get mount on this guy.
Yeah,
and it's terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah, because so you can use the car. That guy looks like Conor McGregor, but like a fat Conor McGregor. It's
got the wheels involved. It's still got a wheel. The car's still got a wheel.
Oh, yes. See, that's a big disadvantage, I would say.
So if you're the driver, is that a disadvantage? Massive.
Yeah, huge, I think. Oh, so he's all wrapped up by the seatbelt. Yeah,
you don't want to get wrapped up by the seatbelt because people will just choke you out with the seatbelt. But
you must get a lot of stalemates in this, though. You must get a lot of situations where you can't submit them, but
then it just becomes a war. Yeah, I guess because they're only 3-minute rounds. I'm just worried about the fighter in there if something did happen, if they got choked out or something, and if the ref can't see you or whatever, you're just in there.
Oh, it would just be so uncomfortable.
Awful. Awful.
Yeah, it doesn't look fun. It's not my first choice of sport. I mean, if we put it in space and you're in a spacecraft, and now we're talking.
Yes.
Because once you eject out of that seatbelt, you're floating through the car or the vehicle or the spacecraft in this case.
Yeah. Well, I've told you my idea about the future of sport, haven't I? The idea that like the knockouts, AFL, UFC, all these sports, right, that have head knocks and all that sort of stuff, eventually we're all going to tune in and watch robots do exactly the same thing, but they look like humans. I'm talking like T-1000s, Arnold Schwarzenegger looking robots. In fact, even better, there will be a matchup between, let's say the 1992 West Coast Eagles, and the robots are programmed to be like their players, right? And then you program the other robots and you'd be like, we'll have
so you got like a robot Peter Matera, the robot statistic, he can run a similar speed.
Yeah, he's the same size. He looks the same. He looks like Peter Matera.
Programming the hand-eye coordination to be sort of similar.
Very good.
Yeah.
And then see how that goes. And then because we're just removing the human element entirely, getting the robots out there.
Well, everything's becoming robots eventually,
and the
right?
UFC, like, would you tune in and watch UFC, like real-looking robots punch on? I would.
Definitely.
That would be great.
Robot Wars.
I don't like Robot Wars because it's too much chainsaw action and whacking and with hammering and stuff. No. I want to see jits. I want to see punches and kicks and subs.
We've still got a way to come because robot soccer wasn't that exhilarating, was it?
That was pretty bad. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I was impressed. Like, I'm not saying I'm impressed by the fact they did it, but I'm not going back to watch the next game. I'm not invested.
Yeah.
Can you get invested in the players though if they're robots?
No, you'd get invested in the coaches, and the coaches would be the programmers.
Okay.
And maybe you'd get invested in the robots, and wouldn't that be lovely?
Maybe. I think I could definitely love a robot. I think I could love a robot, not sexually. I mean, just although there will be sex robots. Like I'd listen to
Obviously, they'll be the first ones to come off the production line.
They're going to be the first. They're going to be the first things for sure, and they probably are. There would be sex
AI.
robots now.
Oh,
yeah,
100%.
Scary stuff. But Bill Burr, I share his. He was going on about this in one of his stand-ups about how he basically took sex robots to where it's going. But Tyson Fury, his comeback from winning the heavyweight title and then just becoming a big fat whopper and being depressed and coming back and winning the title.
Yeah, he's cool.
Well, not winning, maintaining the title, because he was the lineal title holder, but he came back because you get first crack, as in if you say you're back and no one's ever beaten you, people want to beat you because you're the lineal heavyweight champion. That story, those 2 episodes that Mixed Molly Whopper did on YouTube.
Great YouTube.
That is probably the most inspirational story I have ever heard.
Yeah, he was in the dumps.
Absolutely. And hearing him talk about it, this is something you're not going to get from a robot fighter. You're not going to get a robot that loses its confidence, gets fat, has mental problems, and then comes back and becomes heavyweight champion of the world. It's not going to happen with a robot. There's no human element.
Stories. You're going to have to do without those stories for the benefit of those people.
There might be other stories though. There could be this story about a robot that has a malfunction. Maybe it's not properly lubricated. Gets a sore knee.
Wow.
Has to take some time off.
Wow. Repairs.
Okay, I'm just going to...
Comes back. What do you think about this then? I don't think we're going to be able to make a robot that's sentient, right? That thinks it's alive, right? But I think we will make a robot that thinks it is sentient.
Oh, yes. I see.
There is a distinction there. I think that's way more likely, obviously, because one of them actually requires sentience and the other one requires
and it doesn't understand. It doesn't understand the distinction between what our version of sentience is.
Does it matter?
And probably not.
Doesn't matter. If it thinks it is sentient, then it is to some extent.
Okay, I'm just asking ChatGPT something. Okay, it is. Tell me a compelling story about a robot UFC fighter in the future that overcomes adversity.
Wow. That is a good prompt. We haven't been prompting much for a long time, but that's a good one.
Hopefully it's not too long. It doesn't look too long, but it's still going. Okay, all right. We can do this. What's the time?
Yeah, just fire it up. Yeah, no, this is a good way to do it.
In the not so distant future,
Right.
in a world where technology and artificial intelligence have advanced to unimaginable heights, there lived a robot named Steelheart.
Oh, what a great name.
Steelheart was no ordinary robot. He was a machine designed to compete in the Ultimate Fighting Championships.
Wow, he's a UFC fighter.
A popular sport that has transcended human limitations and included both humans and advanced robots as participants.
Wow, so humans and robots fighting.
Fuck a fighting machine.
Way better.
That is terrifying. Brock Lesnar versus a toaster. Steelheart wasn't always a champion. In fact, he began his journey as a humble sparring bot in a small rundown gym in the outskirts of a bustling metropolis.
Of course he did.
His creator, Dr. Sarah Mendez, was
Dr. Mendez.
a lot of detail. Why Dr. Mendez? Is there another Dr. Mendez, or you just like the fact that there's detail in the name?
Are you asking me or ChatGPT?
I was asking you, sorry.
You should probably ask ChatGPT. I don't know the answer to that.
Sorry.
You'd be like, why Mendez?
I thought maybe that was like a UFC doctor or something. I don't know.
This is a good thread though, because the first thing you can do now is like, so the movie comes out, UFC Robots. It's a huge hit. People want to know the prequel. So you get ChatGPT to give you the origin story of Sarah Mendez. And it spits out some garbage about it being an engineer and becoming into UFC sparring robots or some shit.
And then
great.
all of a sudden we have a Vacuous Perspective cinematic universe.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We'll launch the Vacuous Perspective cinematic universe with Poo Blob Man, the Poo Blob guy.
A sentient poo versus a UFC robot.
Wow, they're in the same universe. Their stories aren't really going to link until the very end. They're just their individual stories, right?
I'm about a quarter of the way through this. His creator, Dr. Sarah Mendez, was a brilliant engineer who had dedicated her life to pushing the boundaries of robotics and artificial intelligence.
Great.
She had always believed that robots could be more than just machines.
Right, that she believed they could be fighters.
They could possess the heart and soul of a champion.
Oh, wow. Credits. But that's got to be the opening gambit. Yeah, great.
Steelheart's early days were a struggle. He was often overshadowed by the more advanced combatants with the superior algorithms and cutting-edge technology.
He's fucked then.
But Dr. Mendez believed in him.
That doesn't mean anything.
And every night she tirelessly worked on upgrading his programming and repairing his battle-scarred chassis.
This is all legal, right? She's not doping him, right?
Tech doping. Put on some alpha flies. She knew that deep down Steelheart had the potential for greatness that no one else could see. This is still a story of human success. Anyway, as time passed, Steelheart's determination and resilience became his most formidable weapons. He trained relentlessly, learning from every fight, every defeat, and every broken piece of his metallic body.
Great.
He faced ridicule and discrimination from both the human and robot fighters, but he never gave up.
They're discriminating as well. Robots on robots. Wow.
It's the programming, man. They're programmed by humans.
The future sucks.
His dream was to become the first robot UFC champion. Not for the glory or fame, but to prove the machines could still have a heart, a spirit, and an indomitable will.
Of a champion.
One fateful day, Steelheart received his shot at the championship.
God. One fateful day.
He was going up against Titan, a gigantic, state-of-the-art combat robot favoured to
Doesn't
win.
make any sense.
That part doesn't make any sense.
No.
You were happy with the rest of it? All of a sudden you've thrown down on that?
Yeah, well, his dream is to become the first robot UFC champion, But if he's facing a robot for the championship, then we already have our first robot champion.
Oh, yeah.
He's the robot he's facing.
So Titan was the real... This is part of the Vacuous Perspective cinematic universe.
Right, we do Titan's origin story.
Titan's origin
He's only recently crowned.
So Titan, so basically at the moment we've got Steelheart is Rocky and Titan is Creed.
Apollo Creed.
Creed, yeah.
Yeah.
One fateful
It's pretty
day,
much the same.
It's pretty much the same. Steelheart received his shot at the championship. He was going against but the world watched in anticipation as Steelheart entered the octagon. Of course, I forgot. Yeah, of course, the octagon.
Still using the octagon.
The fight was brutal, and Steelheart was pushed to the brink of destruction. His systems were failing, his chassis was battered, but his spirit remained unbroken.
He's got a spirit. The little one's got a spirit. Oh, no.
In the final round, with one last surge of energy, Steelheart delivered a devastating blow to Titan, exploiting a vulnerability that he had discovered during the fight. Titan crumbled to the ground, defeated. The arena erupted in cheers, not only for the underdog victory, but for the triumph of the human spirit that Dr. Mendez had instilled in Steelheart.
It was Mendez all along.
This is so human-centric. I wanted a robot success story.
Nah, they've given you a human success story with a robot in it.
Steelheart had become the UFC champion, a symbol of hope and resilience. He had overcome adversity, proving that he is not just a machine, but a true champion with a heart of steel. His story inspired people and robots alike, redefining the future of sports and the perception of AI in the world.
It's glorious.
There's one more boring paragraph that I won't bore you with because we don't have much time.
What's the last 3 words of it?
I closed it.
It's gone.
It's gone. It's either gone forever or it's in my history.
It's not gone. It'll be there later. But I love the idea.
I just want to give a quick shout out to your brother and particularly your older brother, actually, because he's super horny for this weekend, I'm told.
Wow. Wowzers in my trousers.
So your younger brother, it's his Bucks party in Melbourne, as you know, as we're both going over there for.
It's going to be great.
What flight are you on?
Same one as you, apparently.
Oh, good. Yeah, good. Yep. And apparently your older brother was telling Mr. Smith how, he's, quote, super horny for this weekend.
Wow. Great.
So I plan to make all his hopes and dreams come true. Ready for a big weekend.
Fantastic. We'll be back next week.